And we are live. What up, players? Welcome to episode 142 of Player Life. It is Tuesday, the 13th of July here in Tokyo, Japan. Um, and it is morning time here, just after 11 a.m. So, had a good night, living the player life as usual. Just having my coffee here, you know. Yeah, but it's all good. Good indeed. Yeah. So today is a bit of a domestic topic. I've talked about this kind of thing on my show before, but it's just I constantly get reminded of it because just when talking to maybe talking to friends, back home in Ireland or whoever it may be that are just completely misinformed, ill-informed about what it's like to be living here in Japan. They make all kinds of assumptions, uh, you know, and it's just hilarious. It really is. Let's see. Gabriel E in the house was good. Hope you're well. I'm good. So today's topic is, do Japanese girls actually like foreign guys? And it's obviously very, it's a general. I'm speaking in general terms. So to straight up answer, if I was just to answer, someone was to give me, oh, yes or no, immediately I would say no. Like after living here for 6 years, I understand Japanese country very well. I've I've lived here. I've yeah I've yeah I've over 6 years now. So I understand Japan very well, and I understand everything to do with pickup and game and female nature and all that kind of stuff very fucking well. more than a lot of people. Um, but more than most people, certainly more than the average guy. And without thought, without question, just boom, like no, they do not. But there's more to it than that. Um, it's kind of a you can go down the rabbit hole with it. But yeah, no, let's see. Rishi Padaruth says, "Yo, Mac, what's good, bro? Hope you're well." Um, so yeah, like the most common, uh, you know, the most common myth, because it's certainly a myth, is that if you're a foreign guy, you can come to Japan and just women are just gonna flock to you, or that if not, it's gonna be easy to get a lot of girls. You're gonna be very disappointed if that's what you think. Um, and then the other misconception is that if especially if you're white, I'm a white guy, I get it all the time. Oh, you're white, it must be so easy. It's honestly, it's very annoying. It's very annoying. But I get it less now. I get it. I think I get it less in Tokyo. When I used to live up north in northern Japan, I got it. I got a lot more, especially if I went to bars. It's kind of a passive aggressive kind of thing that a lot of time Japanese guys will do it, particularly in bars. They'll come up to you and it's like the first thing a lot of them will say. It's very, very annoying. Luckily, it doesn't happen much in Tokyo. What happens is I'll go into a bar and I'll be whoever I may be with. I might be alone, I might be with friends, but some Japanese guy, in his 20s or 30s will come up and so, and a lot of time, sometimes he'll be able to speak English, sometimes he won't. A lot of time he won't. He'll kind of, in very bad broken English, he'll say, he just, I don't know, where are you from or something, and then yeah, it's fine. I'll say I'm from Ireland. What's up, man? And there'll just be some really annoying questions, and then it'll be like, oh, you like Japanese girl? And I'm like, oh yeah, I do, of course. Why wouldn't I? And it just this kind of thing is, oh, you very get many, right? And it's like, okay, right, fuck off, man. Just just I'm not talking to you. Like, just get fucking, yeah. But my patience is kind of shot with that shit. But like I said, I don't know. Maybe in Tokyo they're more they're more used to seeing foreigners. But it definitely would still could still happen here easily. But even it's not only Japanese guys. It's when Japanese guys do it, it's passive aggressive. Make no understand. It's not a compliment. They're not. Oftentimes, they're not complimenting you. It's more like they're trying to. I don't know. It's just a kind of a way to. I don't know what it is, but sometimes they'll come up. They'll cock block you when you're in a set. You're in a set. You're trying to talk to some girls, and they'll come up. You're in a bar and they'll start asking, "Oh, where are you from?" It's like, what the fuck, dude? I'm talking to a chick. Like, I mean, wouldn't really happen in other countries, but that's that. But it is what it is. Um, and but the other thing is, most of the stereotype actually comes from actually foreign people believe it, like foreigners, like they believe that, and that's also annoying. That's almost more annoying. Um, that Western people believe there's this myth, the myth that you can come to Japan, and for some reason they think you're gonna be some kind of, you're gonna stand out, and you're just gonna get all the hottest girls, and it's like it's literally the opposite. Like when you're in Japan, you need exceptionally good game to get with the hot girls, like really good game, like better game than you would need in a Western country. Like I need like gaming in Japan is like gaming on hard mode. Um, if you want to get certain hot girls, uh, it really is. I mean, there's what's called. I've talked about it on the show before. You probably understand the meaning at this point, but it's called Gaijin Hunter. Gaijin Hunter. Gaijin means foreigner. Gaijin Hunter. You get the idea. And Gaijin Hunters are, the girls that like foreign guys. Um, and actually these are actually definitely an extreme minority of Japanese girls. They're, yeah, there's not many of them. And these girls, the thing about these girls is that they tend to have been, kind of rejected by Japanese society or Japanese men in terms of beauty standards in the sexual marketplace. And it's not that Gaijin hunters are, they're all ugly. That's definitely not the case. But they're, um, let's just say they're not, maybe in terms of Japanese maybe beauty standards, they're not up to scratch. There's something off about them. Um, and the thing about Japan is beauty is so common here. It's like, there's a lot of hot girls here. Like you have to kind of go out of your way. like, like if you're a Japanese girl and you're ugly, you got a raw deal. You got a raw deal. Like you got real unlucky because like like there's just so many hot girls. There's so many hot girls, and then most girls are at least average. So if you actually if the girl is ugly, yeah, it's a raw deal. But I would say honestly speaking, like most of the Gaijin hunters are either not up to scratch in terms of Japanese beauty standards, or to be honest, like harsh but true, some of them are ugly, right? Even noticeably by Western standards. And this is that's the reason they kind of like, they come down to foreign guys at that point. It's like, okay, I've been rejected by Japanese men. I've had bad experiences with Japanese men. It's not actually that they, like, if they were accepted by Japanese men growing up, through teenage years and into adulthood, they probably wouldn't like foreign guys. It's a thing that they've been scorned by rejection by Japanese men. They don't get attention. They're not pursued. They're not chased. Because, like I said, there's so much beauty here in Japan. So Japanese men will go for the hottest girls. Even the dorkiest, dweebiest, twerpiest Japanese men can have really hot girlfriends. It's pretty wild. Like you see it all the time. You see it all the time. Like it's not ever a surprise anymore. Like sometimes if you're in a Western country, you see a really hot girl with a dorky guy. It's like, what's going on there? The guy must have money or something's going on. I don't know. But in Japan, you just like you go. I'll go out. I could go out today and I'll see a bunch of couples like just looks totally off. But at this point, it doesn't even look off because a lot of them are like that. Yeah, you'll see like really weak, skinny, girly looking guys with really hot girls, like really, really hot girls. Really feminine guys, like super, but yeah, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, like I said, these girls that tend to come down to down, it's coming down to foreign guys. Um, it's like, okay, maybe I'll be accepted by a foreign guy, and a lot of the time that they will be, to be honest. They will be, uh, you know. So there's the reason that the misconception comes about is I think it's because you know if you're a foreign guy and you're a dork and you're out of shape and you've never been successful with women in your home country, um, it's possible to come to Japan and be, like, have maybe you basically can get access maybe to some of the Gaijin hunters, even if you're, and these are going to be better than what you've had back home. That's it. That's really the reason this misconception about foreign guys getting, having it better here in Japan. But that does not mean by any stretch of the imagination that you can live the player lifestyle if you're a dork or you've shit game or even if you've good game and you're good looking, it's you still need to put in work like to attract these the very hot Japanese girls. It's it's just a thing where these guys that come to Japan, maybe they're completely shit with women. They might even be virgins back in their home country, but if they persist and put in a little bit of effort, they'll get a girlfriend. It doesn't mean they can live like the player lifestyle, or they might even be able to play around a little bit, but they'll all be Gaijin hunters. They'll all be Gaijin hunters. And these Gaijin hunters, oh my god, trust me, these Gaijin hunters these Gaijin hunters have a higher notch count than any guy. These Gaijin hunters get around like hardcore. And it's crazy. It's crazy. These Gaijin hunters are real crazy bitches. And like they get round a lot. And it's funny too, the way Gaijin hunters like they come together like they're such a small part of the overall population of Japanese women. They really are like they're definitely a really small percentage. because it's like I used to live up in a city in northern Japan. It's called Sendai City, and there was a girl that was, and kind of, she used to fuck around with a bunch of the foreign guys up there. I never fucked her. I never thought she was hot. Um, but she was all right. I mean, she was average, but you know, I was actually, and she used to date this guy. Up in She ended up dating this guy, and he was a real twerp, and she broke his heart, and I don't know, he was yeah, he was one of these guys that got one itis over a absolute bitch. And anyway, long story short, I saw her in Tokyo, like last week, and it's funny because she had like found like the group of girls, that are Gaijin hunters. In even in a city as big as Tokyo, like a massive city, like I've been here 2 years now, and the faces are starting to get familiar in the nightlife districts. I'll start to notice these groups of girls that will hang out together, and they're all like, the group of girls will all of them will be Gaijin hunters. Like, they come together like magnets. It's crazy. Similar interests, I guess. But yeah, that's what's going on. That's the way it is. But I found this article, and kind of gave me the idea, as to talk about this show, talk about this topic. And let me share the screen. But all right, it's called Tokyo Night Owl, and the topic is 7 reasons why Japanese girls don't like foreign guys. So, uppercase don't. Right. So yeah. I haven't actually read this, so I'm just gonna read it and see if I agree or disagree with some parts of it. So yeah, let's go for it. There's a contagious myth in both Japan and abroad that by simply being a foreigner, one has an automatic advantage for dating Japanese girls. The reality is that there are many reasons why Japanese girls don't like foreign guys, the majority of which can be summed up by one of Japan's most relevant cultural exports, anime. All of the artwork in this post was created by Mizuka Inaba. You are welcome to share the images, but please credit Tokyo Night Owl and Mizuka Inaba with a link back to this article. And it appears the images are not showing now, but whatever. Okay, so number one, I guess, is language barrier. Okay, so sure, it can be cute at times, especially on dinner dates when she texts you beforehand about how hungry she is, and sure, she may accelerate your Japanese learning process. But when you get into more intense subjects, the translation apps go out the window, and your charades become the new lingua franca. It's not just conversation that makes this a turnoff either. If a foreigner guy's language doesn't progress with the relationship, you'll have to rely on her progressively for understanding all sorts of issues: visas, taxes, healthcare, education, your haircut, ordering your food, her holding his hand to cross the street. All right, so yeah, I mean, I've kind of always, you know I've always tried to learn the language since I've been here, so I can speak the language pretty well at this point. But yeah, definitely speaking the language gives you a big step up, gives you a big advantage, because you know yeah, obviously speaking the language. The thing is, if you want to step away from Gaijin hunters, which to be honest, like a lot of the time you're gonna wanna because it's not that there can't be hot Gaijin hunters. There can be actually pretty sexy Gaijin hunters, but they're just I don't know. You can't. Some kinds you want to get with a girl that hasn't been dick down up to 100 times. Who knows what they're not. Let's just say a lot of times their notch count is going to be pretty high. That's just whatever. That's just from my observation. It seems that these girls are naughty, naughty bitches. I like a naughty bitch, but anyway. Side note, learning the language. If you're going to any country, if you're going to live in any country where English is not the main language, you should try and learn it. You should at least have conversational skills because you open up. There are Japanese girls that might be curious. You see, they're curious about foreign guys. They're like, it's like I wonder what it's like to hook up with a foreign guy. I wonder what they're like, but they're not gonna go and learn fucking English just to do that. It's like, so if I have enough Japanese to arrange a date, which I absolutely I do at this point. But if you're coming to Japan, right, and if you're going to be here for at least a year or two, like learn as much Japanese as you can, like learn as much as you can, and at least be able to arrange logistics. If you can just like arrange logistics, arranging the date, time and place, small talk, that's enough to be able to like get you laid, like a lot. Because you open up a pool of girls that are like curious, curious about foreign guys, but not necessarily that interested. But I wouldn't put these girls in. They wouldn't be. Let's just say that they're not Gaijin hunters. They're not pursuing foreign guys, but they might be curious. And the other thing is the vast majority. The vast majority of Japanese girls are not even curious about foreign guys. They're not. We'll get onto that in a bit. Why that is, but okay. So public stigma. Okay, that's an interesting one. Yeah. Okay, so Japan is a largely homogenous culture. Less than 2% are foreigners. Very few couples are interracial, and those that progress to marriage are overwhelming majority are actually between a Japanese man and a foreign woman. What? That is very surprising. Wow. I did not think that. Of Japanese women who get married, 1.3% marry a foreigner. Combine this with other details on the list, and the recipe for public judgment causes many Japanese to steer clear. I would have thought, what? Very few couples are interracial, and those that progress to marriage are overwhelming majority are actually between a Japanese man. I did not think that was the case. I thought it would be a foreign man and a Japanese woman. That's really surprising that a Japanese man marries foreign women more than foreign men marrying Japanese women. I did not know that. I don't know. I think it might be Japanese men marrying other Asian ethnicities, because I think it's extremely rare to see Japanese men marrying a white woman or a black woman or Western women. That's why it's kind of caught. Yeah, it must be other Asian ethnicities, not Westerns, because it's really rare to see a Japanese man with white woman or black woman. You don't really see it very often. Iowa X says Japanese guys marry Korean women. I bet. Yeah, probably. Probably the case. But yeah, there's a stigma. Like Japanese girls are very aware of that Gaijin hunter label. That makes it very unfashionable to be with a foreigner because there's the stigma of girls liking foreigners because they're not attractive or they're ugly. So um, then if girls don't want to be seen as a gaijin hunter, they don't want to be seen as one of these girls that can't get with a Japanese guy. So that's that whole thing. And honestly, there's probably racial stigma too. It's like it's just, oh, he's a foreigner, don't really want anything to do with him. There is that element too. Like there's Japanese girls that just won't want anything to do with you as a foreigner. They just won't. Um, just very domestic girls. They're just like they can find what they need in the country of Japan. Japan is the third largest economy in the world. They're not. Maybe we'll talk about that in a bit, but parental disapproval. Okay. Hand in hand with the public stigma are the judgment of what may be a Japanese girl's most influential figures, her mom and dad. This isn't to suggest that parental disapproval is the norm, although there are some horror stories, nor is it to say racism is rampant. But sometimes there are some old fashioned attitudes in regards to relationships. Add a lack of common tongue into the mix, and the foreigner's chance of wooing a girl's affection can get a bit complicated. As Japanese girls tend to live with their families well into their 20s, ensuring she doesn't offend her parents may rate higher on her priority list than the cute gaijin sending her line stickers. Short term, yes, you can bask in the beautiful neon rays of love hotels, but long term, the best you can do is to minimize the other red flags in this article. Uh, yeah, doesn't really apply to me because I've absolutely no interest whatsoever in meeting Japanese girls' parents. I'm not. I'm not even looking for that kind of relationship at all. So, beautiful bask in the beautiful neon rays of love hotels. Well, I don't need to go to love hotels either. Although love hotels can be fun, since I live in Tokyo, I don't know why I don't go to love hotels very often. Um, sometimes do it for the novelty of it, but not something that I really need to do since I live in Tokyo. But yeah, I guess parental disapproval. Then there's the other thing where if a girl has a bad relationship with her parents, can maybe even encourage the girls to be more promiscuous. So I've certainly encountered a lot of girls that actually have bad relationships with their parents, and that's maybe part of the psychology that pushes them to do naughtier things and maybe do things that her parents would disapprove of, such as hooking up with a foreign guy. But yeah. Okay, so lower income jobs. Another reason why Japanese girls do not like foreign guys. And Japan is such an insanely consumeristic society. It's very, very Japanese girls in particular absolutely love shopping. They like new products, they like new clothes, they like expensive designer things, right? And and Japanese guys a lot of time will simp for them and buy them these things. Um, but yeah, let's read. So while not all Japanese girls will make a final judgment on dating a foreigner based on their income level, some certainly will. Image is high in Japan. Look around and you will hardly see a girl not dressed to the nines. Very, very true. That's part of the reason I love being here. Girls dress really fucking well. English teaching is one of the most popular jobs for foreigners coming to Japan. Nets a salary of 250,000 yen per month, or 25, what is it, 25,000 US dollars, United dollars salary per year, pre-tax income. Definitely not enough for a family long term, and possibly not enough for a solid date. Dependent on a girl's age younger girls care less. This could be significant deterrent when it's layered on top of other reasons in this list. Right. So yeah, it's definitely very true. However, I always say like money is the least important thing, and in the pillars of game, um, what really gets you like validational sex is fashion, fitness, game. I'm not sure of the order, but whatever. Money doesn't barely counts when you're talking about validational. It's different when you're going for relationships, but if you're trying to live the player lifestyle, who really gives a fuck? You know, um, like in terms of a girl sticking around, obviously it's going to be easier if you have solid foundations and your money's in place and all of that. But to get laid, um, and get validational sex, money's not very important. There's some girls that they're so hot that they're going to require all three pillars: money, muscles, and game. Because so if you don't have money, they're not gonna fuck with you. Like they're not even gonna play with you, even though you're attractive, because they can find another guy that's has all three. He has money, muscles, and game. Because girls that are really hot have that kind of leverage. Um, but yeah, you know, you never really want to be relying on your money to attract girls. Because then you're getting transactional sex. Better than no sex, of course, if it's working for you. But yeah, it's anyway. So that's that. They are charai. Oh, let me just say another point about this. Income. You know, uh, like I said before, Japan is the third largest economy in the world. Like um, it's not a poor country. So you know, girls, in poorer Asian countries, Thailand, Philippines, you know, there's obviously much more poverty. So, when girls see a foreign guy, they kind of see him. They might see him. He's obviously traveling there for leisure. So he's obviously doing better than they are. Um, there's a perception that the guy's gonna, even if he's not rich or whatever, he's gonna be rich in comparison to them. Um, so they kind of see a foreign guy as an escape. They might have some kind of fantasy about getting scooped up and taken abroad to a Western country in those poorer countries, poorer Asian countries. However, this is not the fucking case in Japan. This is not the case. Girls, Japan is a wealthy country. It's a very wealthy country. Um, so girls' idea of getting scooped up, they can get scooped up by a Japanese man. By a rich Japanese man. It's not the case where they have these fantasies about getting scooped up and taken to another country to escape poverty or whatever. It's just not. It's not a thing here. Um, they might have some fantasy to get scooped up and taken abroad for adventurous reasons, but not financial, not for a better life. Not no. They can do it's all they can achieve that in Japan. They can do that with a Japanese man. They don't need a foreign guy to do that. And that's reality anyway. Okay, so they are charai. Charai means fuckboy. It's an insult. Charai is not a compliment. So like, it's like in English, players like you're a player, player life, it's good. And then, I think feminism invented the word fuckboy to try and, put down players, put down people that like to play around. But yeah, charai, if you get called charai, it's like you're just getting called a fuckboy. It's like trying to put you down for living the player lifestyle or whatever. Um, So yeah, let's read it and see what it says. Foreigners get a bad rap as of being labeled as playboys. It's a label that also fuels the stereotype of foreign men having some mystical game when it comes to Japanese women. Charai, or the Japanese phrasing of such, is basically being called a player. It's worse than player. Player is a compliment. Like if you like, I don't know what world you're from, but player is definitely a compliment. Charai does not mean player. Charai means fuckboy. Like it's kind of like, yeah. Anyway, while you can gently toss it aside or defend yourself valiantly, chances are you already in the hole. Coupled with recent shit shows by certain foreigners, Julian Blank, I'm not I've heard of him. I never really researched. I don't know about I've heard of that guy, but anyway, and public perception of Charai foreigners is definitely at its pinnacle. While you can proudly show your 30 line contacts named Cowrie to your male counterparts, watch those wandering eyes when on the date with your lovely Japanese lady. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what kind of idiot would go showing how many girls you have on your on your contact list on a date. Like I've talked about that before. It's like if you're trying to show that you know like when you're showing that you have abundance, let's just say, with women, and we all know women want to get with guys that other women want to fuck and other guys want to be. So it's definitely a thing that women women want to get with guys that are fucking, but they don't want to be told. If you're going around telling women, like having to explicitly say, "Oh, look at me, I'm banging all these women," it's like that's a real turnoff because it shows a lot of insecurity. Even if you are, even if you actually are banging a lot of women and you're going around telling the women directly, like kind of wearing it as a badge of honor, it's a big turnoff because it's like it shows insecurity, um, about yourself. And but like if you're banging a lot of women, trust me, they're gonna know just by women instinctually know that you are, and there'll be telltale signs. So anyway, that just came up because it's like guy talking about showing you know how many females he has on his line. But yeah, Chadai. I mean, that's I get called Chadai a lot. It's like a put down. It's like a put down. It's trying to put you down for being free, basically, free and easy. Like no one can hold me down. I'm not like, I don't go around like, I don't like obviously I don't go around like I don't boast to these chicks that I live the player lifestyle or that I sleep with a lot of women, but I don't deny it either. I'm not like I just don't really care enough. I just the idea of anyone holding me back or like having any kind of control or power over me really doesn't float my boat. So I just yeah, it's just the whole thing about the player lifestyle for me is like freedom. It's like there's no way any bitch is gonna like stop me from just being able to go wherever I want, do whatever I want, see whoever I want. Not a fucking chance. I don't care how hot she is. Like I don't care. Like, you know, I've said this before, like I've said it before and I stand by it, right? I don't care if I met like a 10 out of 10. I swear to God, like the perfect, like in terms of physicality, like just so hot and sexy. Like all my boxes are ticked. Like my 10 out of 10. Like after 3 solid months of banging, I'm gonna be kind of like the sex is gonna kind of be at that point for me it's going to be kind of mediocre because I've done like everything with her. It sounds crazy, but when you get to that level of like of experience with women, like sex, but like it only has a certain lifespan. Like it really does. Like because you really take it. A lot of time, the first or second time that I meet a girl, the sex will be the best it probably ever will be because it's like, you know, the more experience you have with sex, the less inhibitions you have, and you know, you kind of you take things as far as they're gonna go, like on the first or second time. So it's hard. It sounds crazy to say, but it's like it's almost like all downhill from there. Oh, but that's the honest truth. So you know, the idea of me putting up with a girl trying to hold me back or trying to tell me what to do just for sex is like basically she doesn't have that much power over me. You know, no girl is going to have that much power over me. That's the way I want to keep it, honestly. Uh, Transitory foreigners. Okay, so here's another one. While this can benefit a foreigner depending on the girl's preference for relationship duration, it can it can be a real detriment if the girl is looking for the possibility of a long-term relationship. That is not me. Anyway, where are you from? Won't seem so innocuous anymore. The basic reality is that most foreigners only temporarily live in Japan, whether it's for a week or a few weeks. There's almost always an exit date, and even if the plan is long term, circumstances, lost job, visa expiring, deportation, let's hope that doesn't happen, make it impossible to afford a girl the same level of security that a Japanese citizen can. Japanese girls know this, even if they've never dated a foreigner before. Um, yeah, suggestion: don't go. I'm pretty happy in Japan, so I'm, you know, I'm pretty. I don't plan on exiting Japan anytime soon. That's for sure. Uh, Actually, quite like living here. Um, I think I'll be in Japan for the foreseeable future. Uh, I'm not. I haven't. I'm not saying I'm going to be here forever, but the way things are right now here, pretty good. So you know, I'll be here for a while. But yeah, this I guess this can be maybe an issue for some girls, but not really an issue. I'm not looking for those kind of girls. For me, when you're living, you know, I'm just looking for fun. Um, it's kind of relationship thing. Yeah. Anyway, KY. KY, what does that mean? No, this doesn't mean you're socially smooth like the lube of the same name. It stands for Kuki Yomenai. Okay. So Kuki Yomenai, which means quite the opposite. It means you are socially uncalibrated and that you can't read the air. Kuki is air and Yomenai is cannot read. So cannot read the air. Yeah, Japanese people tend to say this a lot. I don't know what it's about, but I guess this applies. Yeah, socially uncalibrated. I mean, yeah. Uh, I know people. You know, there's people like that. I know. You know, even English speakers. Just people that cannot read the air, read the situation. That cannot. They say inappropriate things. They don't. They don't. They don't get it. They say, you know, they make things awkward. Yeah. So Japanese people really don't like people like that. To be honest, I don't like people like that. People like that annoy the shit out of me. You know, someone says things that's really fucking inappropriate, really stupid, really dumb. That shit annoys me. But anyway, yeah, that really turns Japanese people off as well. So, but yeah, talking on your phone on a quiet train, going for a full on makeout in public space, pointing to your condom stash when she mentions the last train, um, playing it safe with the condom. But yeah, it can be simplified as bad manners, cultural ignorance, and poor social skills. While you may be bound to accidentally coming across KY as a newcomer or tourist to Japan, you'll still need to pick up on subtle and environmental clues to make sure you aren't that guy. Um, yeah, suggestions: study Japanese culture in addition to the language. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on how socially calibrated you are. Like I said, there's people even even other English speakers who are just even just are idiots, and they can't just do things inappropriately, and just socially awkward people, or just socially uncalibrated, that do and say things that are just annoying or out of place. But yeah, I kind of within reason. I'm still a foreign guy. I don't. I'm respectful, but I'm not too respectful. You know what I mean? Like etiquette. I don't. Certain things that I've come to realize that I shouldn't do, or but are just awkward. But for example, like you could say that, oh, Japanese people wear masks, so I should wear a mask. I'm not gonna go that far. I literally never, unless it's like work related, or if to do a job, or if I never. Interesting fact: I have never worn a mask on a Japanese train, and I ride trains every day. But that's just a choice. It's like that's a conscious thing. It's conscious that I do that. So some people might say, oh, it's like kukiyo menai. You can't read the air. You're socially uncalibrated. No, that's fucking conscious. I'm doing that consciously. Um, I'd say I'm a very socially calibrated person. Pretty good at reading the air. Actually, I can. I know when someone is put off by me, or is dislikes me, or doesn't like what I'm doing. I can pick up on that very. They don't even need to say anything. I can sense it. And so I'd say I'm a person that can definitely read the air. I don't know. I guess some people have it, some people don't. Um, but let's see. Closing remarks. While not all of the above issues are in your control, this epic book, this divides this into issues. Okay. Yeah, I don't need to read that. Yeah. So yeah, they're things. Let's just recap on them. So what are they again? Number one is language barrier. That you'll have that. And number two, public stigma. Number three, parental disapproval. Number four, lower income jobs. Number five, they are fuckboys. Number six, transitory foreigners. Number seven, can't read the air. Yeah, so I can't say I can't really disagree with any of them. They seem to all make a lot of sense. Yeah, but that's the way it is here in Japan. It's just it's not what you think it is. Like if you're looking to exploit your Western privilege or your white privilege or whatever, Japan probably isn't the best place. I mean, if you're actually looking to have it easy, I would say go to Thailand, go to Philippines. I will say I noticed. I definitely did notice. Like when I went to Thailand, went to Bangkok, I did see a lot of fat old dudes walking around with a lot of hotties. So, but again, it's going to be transactional. I'm sure those guys don't give a fuck whether it's transactional or not, but they're probably they're getting milked or whatever. But the girls are getting whatever, they're probably getting looked after. But the guy they're looking after the guys. It is what it is. But that's not Japan. You're not going to see a fat old white guy walking around with super hottie, unless the guy is super rich or has like really good game. It's going to be very rare to see that. But you go to Thailand or Philippines, you'll see that. You see that all the time. You see like clearly just like transactional shit going on. and it's not the case in Japan. Like I said, Japanese girls, they can live out their lives, they can live out their fantasies, their hopes and dreams within Japan. They can get everything here that they need. Like they can find a rich, a rich Japanese guy or whatever, or maybe not even rich. It's just a thing. But like even the idea also, I've talked about this as well before. The Western, a handsome Western guy, as opposed to a handsome Japanese guy are different. So Japanese men that will be popular in Japan, would be much more feminine. Let me just show you, like, I don't really. By the way, if I don't really use TikTok, but I just saw something today that it showed me the kind of guy that would, as a foreigner, to give you an idea of the kind of foreign guy that would be popular in Japan. And it's not really the kind of foreigner any of you guys would really want to be. I put it like that. But this is the Western version of a guy that would be really popular in Japan, if that makes sense. But let me just show you. It's on TikTok. But I don't want to be like him. You probably don't want to be like him. But he looks extremely feminine. But that kind of guy would probably do. That's the kind of guy. Let me just screenshot it just to show you. Yeah. So yeah, really, really feminine. Really, turn that into a Japanese. Think of it. Imagine a Japanese version of that. That's the kind of guy. See this beard. This is like Japanese say NG, not good. That's not good for the vast majority of Japanese girls. In fact, they have adverts on trains. On Not kidding. They have literal fucking advertisements for men to get their facial hair permanently laser hair removal, like permanent removal. This isn't for like transsexual men or like whatever. This isn't for like, this is for men, like suit wearing men, to get their facial hair permanently removed, like permanent. It starts off, I used to see the fucking laser hair removal for women, and they'd have like actually pretty sexy adverts on the train. But it was pretty nice seeing them. But then started noticing these adverts for men to have their hair completely, like permanently removed. Mental shit. But yeah, it's just to give you an idea of that kind of androgynous feminine look is really, really, that's the kind of look. It's like a less masculine look that would be popular. Yeah, but as I said, to give you an idea of the type of guy, again, someone like this, yeah, like really looks really homosexual, to be honest. Like a guy like this would probably clean up in Japan, like just because Japanese pop star males kind of look like that. Korean as well, which are also really, really popular. So less masculine, more feminine, androgynous. It's the same. It's like I've talked about those kabakuras. They're not kabakuras. Host bars. they're bars that Japanese women go to talk with men, and the men in those bars look, all of them look homosexual, like really homosexual. But the interesting thing, most of them are not. Like they're not actually homosexual. They just that's just the look that they have, and it's very bizarre. It's very bizarre because it's like, you would just assume that they would be homosexual, but they're not. Um, and it's just cultural differences, and but I've said this before, and it's very true. It's like if I change my look to try and which I never would. Trust me, I would not do that. Um, um, you know, I would never change my look to try and look like that. I would never fucking do that. You can trust me, I wouldn't do that. But listen, uh, I wouldn't go there, even if it meant I was gonna get a ton of pussy. But you know, so yeah, if even if I tried to do that, it's gone kind of blurry. I wouldn't get, you're gonna sit somewhere in the middle. Like you're gonna be, I'm not gonna get the girls that kind of are interested in my look, in foreigners, and I'm not going to get the girls that are not interested in foreigners. You're just going to sit in the middle and get less pussy on both sides. It's going to be like, what are you doing? So I literally, I just embrace. I'm an Irish man in Japan. I always will be. If I stay here till the day I die, I'm an Irish man in Japan. Obviously, I become more knowledgeable about Japanese language and culture, but yeah, it's I'm not one of these people who are like, oh, like I don't give a fuck how long I live in Japan. I was born in Ireland. I was raised in Ireland. I'm ethnically Irish, so I just embrace who I am. I'm an Irish man. I look better with the beard. I could go and Japanese girls don't like beards. Oh, I'm gonna shave it. Oh, I'm gonna look all soft and feminine, and I just want to get more pussy. It's like, no, I actually look better with a beard. So, it's like find a balance, like, embrace who you are, become the best version of yourself. I look better with a beard, objectively speaking. So that's why I have a beard. Um, yeah, regardless of whether Japanese as a society, Japanese women as a whole, like beards or not, who gives a fuck? I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. But yeah, unapologetically, be unapologetically, the best version of yourself, and wherever you are, if you're in your home country, if you're abroad, there's certain things you can learn to, help you improve your game. There's certain, it is different. Like I did the show about, the difficulty of gaming women by age bracket, and so there's differences. Gaming a 20-year-old as opposed to gaming a 28-year-old are different. It's a different, you can approach it differently and get, you can approach it differently to get the same results. The same result is to get laid, right? But you kind of approach them differently, because a 20-year-old and a 28-year-old are not the same, definitely for females. But yeah, guys, smash the like button if you haven't already. YouTube is fucking with me, obviously. Let me just show you something. Just interesting, because I know YouTube was fucking with my with even some of the views, but I have proof that YouTube was fucking with me, fucking with my account. Let me show it. All right, so I know that, like, I've been noticing for ages that YouTube has been fucking with my likes, with my view counts and whatnot. But yeah, so I just screenshotted. So I upload. If you haven't seen this new video, check it out. I'm sure you've all seen it. But photo shoot with Japanese hottie, hot babe, she came over. But anyway, I already talked about that. So it had like 25 likes, right? And then, you know, the next day I looked again and it had 19 likes with 243 views. So YouTube is actively lowering the likes. Look at that again. Yes, let me see. Story is no longer available. Okay, so I don't know what that's about. Anyway, what the fuck? Let me just refresh that. Okay, it just anyway, it seems to have gone away, expired. Okay, so the previous day it had 25 likes, and then the next day it had 19 likes. So that's YouTube. You can you accounts like mine, accounts like these, they're like flagged for suppression. It's like flagged to be it's being suppressed. It's like actively they have an algorithm. It's not me being like paranoid. There's literally like an algorithm in place. Like it's that's it's blacklisted. Like my account is obviously blacklisted. It's like, okay, there's certain algorithm in place. We'll take a certain percentage. If it gets 10 likes, we'll take 2 likes away. If it gets 20 likes, we'll take 3 likes. It has these. I'm not sure how it works, but there obviously is some kind of algorithm attached to, if you aren't in their good books, you get placed on a certain blacklist, and it's like an algorithm works like in a certain way to suppress your account. So no matter what, they're gonna try and keep this account down. But whatever, I'm still getting through to some of you guys, so it's still worth it. But it's a fucking annoying. Like I just wanted to illustrate that. I have proof that they're actually doing that. Because that, and I've seen it many times, and this is the first time I just actually screenshotted it and have proof of it. But yeah. Other than that, if you're on TikTok, I don't know if I'm going to use it, but it does it does have a pretty good reach actually. If you're on TikTok, give me a follow. I might use it, I might not, but yeah, we'll see. Other than that, still working out Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Getting better at the muscle ups. Struggling on the last one there, but muscle ups are no joke, man. Like they're not easy at all, but getting there. I'd like to be able to do 10 muscle ups, 10 solid muscle ups in a row. That would be solid. I'll get to 5 first. I could do 5 last summer. I don't know what happened. Well, I do know what happened. I kind of got injured, and then I'm starting back up again, but I'll get there. But yeah, it's all about consistency. But yeah, I still, I don't know. I just, I don't make excuses anymore. Like, my body is far from perfect. I have a bunch of injuries too. Like, I mean, but I still make it work. I still make it work. It's like, oh, you can continue to work out because you've no injuries, or everything's perfect. No, not like I'm 32 years old. I used to skate when I was a teenager, and yeah, I used to skate from when I was like 13 years old to when I was like around 20 or 21, like inline rollerblading, grinding rails, like jumping over stairs, grinding ledges, doing all kind of spins and shit. So yeah, my knee is fucked, my ankle's fucked. I kind of have a fucked up shoulder, but I still work out. Like I still fucking make it work, So I don't make excuses. you're never gonna be perfect. So even if you have some kind of injury, obviously, get seek treatment and try and make it work. Try and but always try and stay active. Always try and do something. Um, like if you've a fucked up knee, do if you let it rest or whatever, work on your obviously be doing rehabilitation or whatever, trying to make it better, but do other kind of exercises while you can't use your leg or whatever. I was talking to some guy who's telling me he had a wrist injury and he just completely stopped working out. I was like, you've a fucking wrist injury. Like, if you have a wrist injury, you can still run. You can still do squats. You can still do all kinds of other stuff. You don't have to use your wrist. So it's better. That's my point. Like, if there's something wrong with you, do something else. Like, make it work. Do other things. Just don't stop. Stopping like is the worst thing ever, because as soon as you stop, you cease to you get into the habit of doing nothing, and then it's a bad thing. But yeah, guys, uh, I'm gonna cut it there. I'll be back for the Wednesday show. What is it, 6 a.m. Central Time for the Wednesday show? And yeah, smash the like button. Check out the links in the description. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. Any suggestions, anything like that, hit me up, and I'll be here. So have a good one, guys. Peace out. Bye bye.